Hey, field agents. Many of you messaged me privately. We didn't. I didn't really touch the terms of service agreement in my post. I was hoping to get one here, but I didn't. I haven't got one on my main here. So somebody shared me. I got one to read from here on Discord. We're gonna tear this thing apart, part by part. You can get out of here, or you can stick around. See what you think. Imagine a room of 20 people. All of you stand up in your chair. Each person sit down when you think you violated the rules, and at the end we'll see how many people standing. Number one comes in. It reads terms of agreement, last updated August 26, 2019. The last time we got this was 6-7 months ago, and there's new stuff since then. So from the get-go, we see that they kind of just threw this together, and it's a little bit BS. And that's off the first sentence. Number one, it's a license. It's their product. You can't make it yourself. 1.2, the privacy policy. We encourage you to read it. By creating an account, they own your soul. 1.3, updates of terms of service and policy. They can do what they want when they want. They can remove what they want when they want. They can amend the policies when they want. They can delete them. They can add them. They got full reign. It's their game, but you get no expectations of consistency. It does say amendment may not otherwise be amended except in writing, handwritten by you and us. And the likelihood of you handwriting them and them handwriting you back and it getting back to the people, you decide what the possibility that is. But that's in 1.3. 1.4, grant of limited license for use of service. You agree not to use the services for any other purpose. You can only play the game. If you got a YouTube channel, sit down. If you have a Discord room, sit down. It's only for in-game chat, in-game play. And the spending is for in-game items only. 1.5, assessing the services. You be registered to have an account with them. You got to be 13. If you're under 18, you got to have an adult. If you're under 13, you're not supposed to play. That's 16A, 1.6A. Under 13, you're not to play. B, if you're under 18, your adult's supposed to be within screen. Is supposed to be within screenshot of you. C. So sit down if you're under 18 and your parents ain't watching you play. You're only supposed to have one account at a time. If you got an account on multiple servers, sit down from our experiment. If you got accounts, more than one account on one server, sit down. If you're if you're sex offender, sit down. Also, you can jump off a fucking bridge. D, E, if you've been banned before, you're not supposed to have an account. Even though when you get banned, it literally says click here to start another account. It's right here in the rules that you're not supposed to have another account, but yet when you get banned, the option comes up to start another account. F, so sit down if you've been banned and restarted after they told you to restart. F, non-commercial purposes. This goes for the bloggers and YouTube and anybody that does anything with it outside of the game. So I sit down here. G, and also they ask the streamers, that's right here basically says the streamers, the same people they call for at All Stars to stream their matches. G literally says, F and G says they cannot have what they ask for at All Stars. G also says you can't advertise, solicit, or transmit commercial advertisements, including chain letter, junk mail, repetitive messages. H, no illegal conduct. If you exchange nudes for money or have OnlyFans attached to your account, sit down. You cannot rent, sell, or you can't rent, sell, trade, gift your account. If somebody quit and gave your account, or you bought your account, or you traded your account, sit down. I never thought about renting my account, going on vacation and renting my account, but I wouldn't do it because I'd be terrified I wouldn't get it back. But J, yeah, you can't use a rented account. K, it means that you gotta, even if you got Facebook, you still gotta apply with all the rules. 1.7 is name and password. It's only for you. So if you've ever not been able to log on and you've had somebody log in for you to shield, sit down. You're not supposed to be playing. If you were the person that bubbled it, you sit down. If you're the person that got bubbled, sit down. And B is about logging in. C is about logging in. D, you're responsible for anything that happens in your account. So if one of the rules get broke, you can't say somebody was using your account because of the above numbers. 1.8, any attempt to disrupt or interfere services, manipulate an operation of game services is a violation of policy and is a violation criminal and civil laws. I haven't seen them like go past like banning somebody and like making criminal charges, but this new letter that you clicked agree to, it does state in California law you can be brought up on criminal and civil charges, and that's from 1.8 of what you signed today. A, engage at conflict spirit, not limit to circumventing and manipulating the terms. B, improper use of the support services, making false abuse reports. We've been against like a big server. I got many false reports on me and got my stuff banned. And I didn't do nothing wrong. C, services connection violation law promotes cheats and hacks. If you find a cheat code or hack, it's a violation in C. D, cheats, exploits, automation, software, bots, hacks, mods, third-party software is against. And this is where I said that 2019 was bullcrap, because third-party software intercept mines, and it actually writes it out now, and it's not so vague like it was 6 months ago. E, design, automation, bots, hacks, third party to modify. F, modifier calls files to become services or game clients. G, overburdening the system. H is setting a virus on them. You're not allowed to put viruses on them. I is to gain access, basically become a moderator, if you're able to do that with the computer skills. J, modify files as part of the game sign. That's a modifier, as a moderator to change game files. K, is about changing network settings. These are like high-tech levels programming stuff. Ends, disrupting the service or undermine the legitimate operation of the game client may be a violation of criminal and civil laws. I ain't gonna read this. This goes into if you're able to hack your way into shutting down the game or the server. O through T covers that. Unauthorized use. Hey, I want to leave this on that. I want to leave this up. Alright, unauthorized use or connection to service. It says a whole lot of nothing. Our W says if you're able to make an unreasonable or disproportionately large load on our infrastructure. Basically, if you're able to change, you know how if you're on BlueStacks, you know you have to do the low level settings, but if you was able to somehow get the high pixel in onto their map, it would cause a significant pixel. It would make a huge load overload if you were somehow able to bypass their gate. X is programmer stuff. I ain't gonna do all this programmer stuff. Like copy, modify, and disable rights or content from the game website, copyrights, use or method, distributing content, services. You can't go make your own game out of it. I don't know. 1.9, suspension and termination of account and services without limiting or other, this is all in bold, without limiting or other remedies. Top games may limit, suspend, or terminate. Modify, which means take all your stuff, or delete accounts, or access to services or portions therefore. If you are top game suspects, you are failing to comply with the terms of services, or for any actual suspect illegal or improper use of service, with or without service to you. You can lose your username and personnel as a result of the account termination or limitation, as well as any benefits, privileges, items earned, and purchased items. I think they put that in there because they stole all them people's All-Star stuff last week or a week before. But this, like I said, 2019, no, they did that last week. Associated with the use of your service and Top Games is no obligation to compensate you for any such losses or results without limiting our other remedies. We may limit, suspend, or terminate the service of user accounts or portions, therefore prohibit access to the game site's service and take technical and legal steps to prevent users from accessing the services. If we believe they are creating a risk or possible liabilities infringing on intellectual rights of Top Games. With the letter or spirit of our terms or policies. Additionally, we may, in appropriate circumstances, at our sole discretion, suspend or terminate accounts of users who repeat infringers of third-party intellectual property rights. All that said, they hold the keys. What you spend, it could go, and ain't nothing you could really say or do about it. I just hit the bold letters from here down. 110's gaming service. They may enforce the rights of any violation of this agreement. 110.2, username and password. You cannot share it. No ownership rights in the account. I wonder if they would ban somebody and then put their account up for auction on the black market just to make money. And I think that's why they're like pushing on this issue about you don't own the rights of the profile. Rules related to the username. See, cause you see what I'm saying? Rules related to the usernames. You don't own the username, and they're really pushing on that. And you know, it goes on that it has to be correct and polite, and it's not supposed to have weird letters and numbers, which you see a lot of that. So a couple more people sit down in the chairs. Anything that Top Games considers to be contrary to essence of the game. They don't acknowledge transference of games. Dispute resolution. This is important. If a dispute arises between you and Top Games, our goal is to provide you with a neutral and cost-effective means to resolve them. You versus a multi-million-dollar company. Okay. According to you and Top Games, agree to resolve any claim, controversy at law, equity arises out of the agreement in accordance with subsections below, as you otherwise agree in writing. Before resorting to these alternatives, we strongly encourage you to first contact us directly to seek resolution by going to customer support. We will consider reasonable requests to resolve the dispute through alternative dispute resolution procedures, such as mediation, arbitration, or alternatives to litigation. 4.2 Law and Forum. Their laws are in accordance with the state of California, which is not good. They some wackadoodles. And then it gives you the address, which I'm not going to give you, but you can get it. It's Menlo Park, California. Improperly filed claims. If you don't file your paperwork completely right, they're entitled to recover attorney fees for $1,000. So if you file your paperwork and it ain't right and you have to file again, you have to do your filing plus give them $1,000 for their attorney's time of seeing your misfiled paperwork. They got expensive attorneys. Assignment. They may assign delegates. You may not assign a delegate. So if you got to travel, you got to travel to California, because they can assign a delegate and you cannot. They're in China, most of them. Supplement policies. The entire agreement. Whether electronic, oral, or written, whether established by custom, practice, policy, precedent between you and us with respect to services. So even if it's not written, it could be spoken, typed, or it don't have to be none of that. It can be precedent or customary. Yeah, it goes deeper than the paperwork. No waiver. 4.6. Shall not constitute a waiver of any future obligation to comply with provision, conditions, or requirements. Well, this is like the most one-sided damn thing ever. Alright, and 6.7 is termination. This agreement is effective until terminated. You may terminate the agreement by terminating your account and not accessing game's client. In the event you terminate or breach the agreement, you will forfeit your right to any and all payments you may have made. You agree and acknowledge that you are not entitled to any refund of any amounts which were prepaid on behalf of the account prior to termination. Acknowledgements. We agree that when running, the games may monitor your computer's random access memory RAM and or computer processes for unauthorized third-party programs running coherently with the games. An unauthorized third-party program as used within shall be defined as the third-party software that, when used simultaneously correction with the game, would constitute a violation of sections 1, 2, or 9. In the event that the game detects the unauthorized third-party program, top games may communicate information back to top games, including without limitation the account name, details about the account, the program detected, and the time and date of the unauthorized third-party program was detected, and or exercise any and all its rights under this agreement. When the game is running, top games may obtain certain identification information about your computer and its operating system, including without limitation your hard drives, central processing unit, IP address, and operating systems, for purposes of improving game and or service, and to the police and enforce provisions of the agreement and the EULA. Let me read that shit again. I'm gonna read it real slow. When the game is running, top games may obtain certain identification information about your computer and its operating system, including without limitation your hard drives, your central processing unit, your IP addresses, and operating systems, for purposes of improving the game and or the service, and to the police and enforce the provisions of this agreement. What in the living shit? I want my money back.